We're coming in hot today, ladies and gentlemen, on the final Tuesday of January. This is The Pulse.
Welcome back to the show that today is going to discuss FGCU basketball, championship weekend, a Super Bowl look ahead, coach drama, and the ruining of what we know and love as MLB baseball.
It was an abysmal weekend for FGCU basketball here
Heard that.
on campus. It was men's versus Austin P, loss. Women's versus Austin P, loss. Men's versus Lipscomb, loss. Women's lost to Lipscomb as well. So 4 straight losses. It was honestly a heartbreaking, hurts my heart to say, a heartbreaking historic loss for women's basketball this past week. We had our first at-home conference loss in 3 years, our first ever back-to-back at-home conference losses, and our first ever loss to Lipscomb.
Previously 37-0 to Lipscomb for women's basketball. 37-0. This was the very first one, and like you said, first conference home loss in a while, first back-to-back home losses in the conference for a while. It goes to show the dominance that FGCU women's basketball has displayed for probably the better part of a decade.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, going to the NCAA tournament, I think every year outside of one since 2016.
And then I also think it was 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
So maybe 1 or 2 years they didn't go to the tournament. And this year it is not looking so likely, as the women's team is sitting at 9-10 overall, 5-3 in conference, and 4-6 at home, 4-3 and away. It's not looking good, and I think it's more of the same of what we talked about earlier in the year: inconsistency shooting the basketball, a little bit of, I think, just lack of discipline at times. Mm-hmm. We sat there and we watched Molly Hurd, number 3 for Lipscomb, put up 23 points in that game, and she wasn't even somebody that we were worried about necessarily on the game plan. She wasn't the player to watch. It was something that kind of came out of nowhere, and all she did was drive to the basket, like the entire time, all she did. And it just continued to work against us, and I think FGCU is just having some issues with disciplined defense and gelling for an entire game. We've seen them fight back in that game, actually bringing it to 4, and then the wheels just fell off after being down by double digits. It was definitely, it sucks to watch that, especially after losing to Austin P, and you want to have confidence going into the next game. But the wheels just appear to be falling off a little bit.
Yeah, especially with the men's. It was kind of a weird play for their second game. I believe it was against Lipscomb. They were not supposed to play that game that day. They were supposed to play it the next day, the following day, but due to the gigantic weather storm that we've all come to know and love, it forced the team to play a day early, so back-to-back games. Yeah. Not exactly what Mother Nature intended, but it kind of spun our heads a little bit, and we came out with a loss for the men's. With, honestly, one of our, heartbreaking to say again, probably one of our worst games of the season so far.
Yeah, and like we talked about before, with FGCU, it all comes down to their shooting ability at the three-point line. Against Austin P, they only shot 28% as opposed to Austin P shooting 38%. And, I mean, we did much better this time with Zyree Collins, the freshman phenom, to be honest, for Austin P. He only had 12 points in this game, but it came from a number of ways. I mean, we had Austin P had 4 double-digit scores, with the high being Matt Enright with 19. And our highest scorer in this game was Ramiro Barno, our GOAT, with 14 points. And outside of that, I mean, you got 12 from Ellerby, and everyone else under that is 7 points or less in this game. We didn't see the same impact from Isaiah Malone in this game. George Washington III, however, did come back.
Yes.
Mr. President did come back for the first time since the second game of the season, and he had a rough shooting night, shooting only 2 for 9 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3.
But he was letting it fly.
He was letting it fly. Absolute confidence out of Mr. President. And
we're happy to have you back.
Absolutely happy to have him back. And then you go to Lipscomb, more of the same. I mean, 15-point loss.
We were 37. I wrote this down. We were 37. It was 37-30, losing at halftime. They shot 12 3-pointers and made all that's 36 points. Every point besides a foul shot, was a three-pointer going into the half.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't let that happen. You can't let a team be shooting like that from the arc. That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. But then you go to Lipscomb, and Isaiah Malone had 23 points.
Totally back.
23 points, 9 of 10 from the field.
Totally.
1 of 1 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Go.
It's like cutting off. It's like cutting off a head of one of those giant dragons in mythology. You get one bad game, you get 2 good ones from Isaiah Malone.
Yeah. And I mean, in that game, if you look purely at the stat sheet, it looks to be, I mean, it's not in our favor, but it's not a 15-point loss on the stat sheet. But Lipscomb shot 54% from 3 in this game.
Ridiculous.
They had multiple guys make 5 threes or more.
Yeah.
You can't win that way with a perimeter defense like that, especially when you have Rory Stewart shooting 4-11. Yeah, he's hitting 4 threes, but he's missing 7 of them. He's starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah.
But we need more consistency and efficiency out of guys like that.
Let me ask you, Ryan, what do you think we need to see from our teams to and the students to boost up their positivity, boost up their momentum going into the rest of the season?
I think that we need to bring the people out. We need to show up to Alico Arena. We need to get loud, and we need to have a good time, because that's what brings teams up at this point in the season. That's where we need the energy to come in. College basketball is a game of runs. I mean, it's about being hot and about hitting your shots, about playing within your system and trusting that. So if we can show up and bring them some juice, that's what we can do.
Well, I absolutely agree with you there. And I mean, ladies and gentlemen, there is no coincidence. Let's think about the best teams in college basketball. Kansas, Allen Fieldhouse, loudest stadium in the country. Cameron Indoor, one of the loudest. Mackey Arena for Indiana. MSG for St. John's. Hilton for Iowa State. The list goes on and on. Bud Walton, I mean, you get over to Rupp Arena. These are the arenas of the best teams in the country. And what do their fans do? They go nuts.
up.
They go nuts for 40 minutes of basketball. The entire time, no one's sitting down. Everyone is cheering their asses off no matter the score, and they rally the troops and they get going. And if you want to see FGCU pull out these close games they haven't been able to pull out this year, you got to energize them. So you're absolutely right. You got to get asses in seats is really all it comes down to.
We got
We need
Isaiah
them
Malone
standing.
posterizing, man. We got
Yeah.
posters happening
That's what I'm saying.
on the court. It's happening.
You got Isaiah Malone putting his body on the line, diving on tables, on
They are.
scorers tables, and you're not juiced. That doesn't get you juiced.
Come on, people.
I mean, I know every single week we kind of go and go the kind of like shiting on the students a little bit.
And I will continue to do so until you get in the stance.
I do believe like we just got to find a way. Like we got to come up with some new chants. I mean,
I agree.
we have the Hey song, we have the Fight song. Both
but
of those
nobody
are
does
not
that.
good. Nobody
No.
knows the words to the Fight song.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking to some heads in a couple days. Don't
And
you fret.
At the same time, though, you guys, I think we can say as much as we want that the students need to show up, but also students want to come to games at the same time where teams are winning.
Yeah.
So it definitely goes hand in hand. Well, they're not winning. We need more students than there. Well, students aren't there because we're not performing. It's
But
just a whole back and
they're
forth.
due.
The problem that with it is that last year was one of our best seasons when it comes to men's basketball in the past couple years, and it was still the same kind of regular attendance of you're having some games where you have a decent turnout, but then you're also having majority of your games where there's maybe a handful of people in the stands.
I
which
agree.
you can't be I mean, I understand that we live close to Naples, we live in Fort Myers, we're close to Bonita Beach. These are very elderly populated areas, but you got to bring some juice into it. You got to bring some.
But even the older people, they're showing us out.
The older people are more juiced.
They are.
Than
They
21-year-olds.
absolutely are. I mean,
They are.
Does nobody realize that it's $3 beers?
$3 beer,
$3
$3
beers.
dog, $3 beer, $3 dog. What gets you more hyped up? What gets you feeling more American than a $3 hot dog, a processed hot dog, and a soggy bun, and a cold beer on
There's
the
nothing
sideline
like that.
of
That
a
is-
D1 college basketball game? What gets you more juice than that, Hogan?
A Ramir Barno Hezi.
Ramir Barno Hezi into a lob to Isaiah Malone, dunking on your favorite player's face. That gets me juiced. And if you want to get juiced like that, come to the game. It's very, very simple. And that brings me back to my point of the best teams in the country have rowdy fans, where the stadium is packed. If you want the guys to play with energy and juice, and you want them to complete these close finish games, and you want them to have highlight plays, you got to give them something to play for. Some energy. If they're going in there and they see 65 Gladys and Johns in the stands and they're 85 years old,
With their
And
little
look-
noisemakers.
With their little
They're
noisemakers,
so cute.
and they only stand up for free T-shirts, just like you guys. And then they look in the student section, and they see 6 kids going nuts, and the rest of it's empty. What do you
6
want
or
them to
7
think?
kids.
Like, what do you want them to think? Get in the stands for these guys. I mean, they're and for the women as well. I mean, our women's program is historically one of the best women's programs in the country,
And nobody shows up.
And you're not showing up.
Championship weekend, where losers become losers and winners become winners and champions are crowned.
That was
It has
profound.
finally come and arrived.
Can you guys believe we started this so long ago and now we're here?
17 episodes. We started week 1 of the NFL National Football League season, and now we are finally at its second to last weekend. We had the Pro Bowl this upcoming weekend, and then we have the Super Bowl. But we are here to talk about this past week of football.
To start with that, the Patriots, you look bad.
You look
Really bad. Extremely beatable. The Patriots struggled in the first half, even before the snowstorm, with their only touchdown coming off of a Jarrett Stidham backwards pass that ended up being a fumble and was almost a real fumble, and then it wasn't complete,
Yeah.
and then it wasn't. And then they score on that drive, and after that, a bunch of nothing. And Jarrett Stidham did not look bad. As
He
Duffy,
didn't.
as
No,
Duffy
that one
referenced,
pass,
the
I
Stiddy party
told
was
you.
here.
It was here. He had a little bit too much snow up his nose, and then it went downhill from there.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, he threw 50 yards more than Drake May did. He was more efficient. He had a touchdown pass. Drake May did not. He did throw an interception there at the end of the game. It kind of just lofted up there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, the Patriots, not impressed.
No, it was a rather boring game, some may
I
say.
actually fell asleep during this game. I fell asleep, woke up with 2 minutes left. It's 10-7, and I'm glad I did not keep watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was brutal.
As soon as the Stiddy party arrived, I fully thought that the Broncos were going to win that game because they looked good. They looked better than the Patriots, but as soon as that snowstorm hit, I mean, they lost their momentum.
Yeah, but it's funny because
completely.
the Patriots won in the snowy conditions at the Broncos' home. Like, you should be you should be used to playing in the snow, but what are you doing there?
Well, like I pointed out last week, Denver's defense was going to be Denver's defense no matter what. The
Yeah.
problem was going to come on offense when you need a big play and you're relying on a guy that hasn't played in almost 3 years. And they needed a big play, and he threw an interception, and you lose by 3. In another situation where, as you referred to me as take your points guy, that's what I've become. I'm Mr. Take your gosh darn points. All right, the Broncos had an opportunity to take a field goal, which would have made it 10-10 actually, and they decided not to, and here they are losing by 3. So
That's Sean
take your
Payton
points.
for you. That's
Do
Sean
you
Payton for you.
Take your
guys
points.
think that had Bo Nix been in the game, the turnout would have been different?
I think so.
Absolutely not.
The
No.
reason I think so is because Jarrett Stidham hadn't played a game of football since, what was it, 2023? Mm-hmm. I mean, you have Bo Nix that led this team to the playoffs and all the way to the divisional round, and you're propping in a guy that hasn't played football in years. Given you're kind of putting a quarterback in, I fully believe that's a system team. I think Nate, I think you said it last week. It's kind of like a prop and play. Like you could
really
throw
is.
anybody into that quarterback position that has experience at quarterback, and they'll kind of succeed. But I do fully believe that Bo kind of knew the system a lot more.
I agree with you.
I think it would have been played a lot more differently.
I
But
agree.
props to Jarrett Stidham. I mean,
100%.
ridiculous.
He did with what he was given, but
Yeah.
I do agree with you in the sense that had Bo Nix been in the game, I do think the turnout would have been a little
Yeah, I just think he understood the system more.
100%.
Mr. Hogan.
I don't think it would have made much of a difference at all.
Heard that. Agreed.
I think that there weren't a lot of instances that Bo Nix would have really changed anything. And that once the snow moved in and the weather's changed, I thought that game was kind of over. I really
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I feel like the snow was the most defensive team.
Jared Stidham did exactly what Bo Nix would have done in this game. He threw the ball. You know, he didn't have too many passing yards. He wasn't very efficient. He took a couple sacks. He threw an interception, and his quarterback rating was not ideal. On the season, Bo Nix only has an 87 QBR. Only an 80. It's not like he's out here lighting teams up. I mean, Bo Nix threw for 300 plus, 4 times this year, and those were against let's see here. I'm sorry, I'm like blanking. It was against the Bengals. What a great defense. The Commanders, absolutely awful. The Packers, I will kind of give you, and the Jags, I will absolutely give you. But in that game, again, 81 rating. I mean, Bo Nix he's doing absolutely nothing different in this game. Jared Stidham had timely runs when they needed it, and I don't see I don't even know where I was going to go with that. But yeah, I don't see Bo Nix making a difference in this game. I think it ends the exact same way, honestly.
What was Stidham's rating?
Stidham's rating was a 63. 63, which isn't it's not great.
Do you have Mays pulled up?
Drake May, yeah, his rating was a 58.
Yeah. So I mean,
58.
it was horrible offensive. I mean, you could kind of tell from the score, but I feel like the snow played a pretty big difference.
Do you guys think Stidham outplayed May?
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely
a
did.
little bit, but
You take away the interception, across the board, he was better.
That's
every
what I
factor.
thought.
interception
With
didn't
what
matter.
he
The
was
game was
given, ultimately, yeah.
I honestly fully believe that if they had taken but I mean, we talked about this a few weeks ago with the Bears. You can't really say, oh, they should have went for the points, because then you don't know what the hell is going to happen for the rest of the game.
No way to know.
But I can kind of see that if they went for the field goal there, how they could have won. Because, I mean, that's just kind of an obvious thing. But
Take
who
your
knows?
points
That's
in the playoffs,
yeah,
no matter what.
But, I mean, there was also another instance where the kickers, like, it was in the middle of the storm. It was a reasonable fourth down. I think it was like 4th and 4, I want to say. And they elected to punt the ball. That was completely on their downfall. In those kinds of situations, when you have that much wind and that much weather going, that's not a leg punt. That's an arm punt. You want to get that ball, like, at least you get somewhat of a chance of converting on 4th. But, I mean, you punt away the ball, they're going to get amazing field position because the ball is going to just go up in the air and it's going to start coming back towards you with the amount of wind that they had.
Yeah, I mean, Denver overall, I mean, Jared Stidham, funny enough, was the bright spot for Denver in this game. The run game didn't do anything. The receiving game, I mean, you had one touchdown to Cortland Sutton in the back of the end zone on the first drive of the game. After that, I mean, nothing. He had 17 yards on the game.
Yeah.
And for Jared Stidham to not have played since 2023 and to be more efficient, to outpass, to have a higher average per pass, to throw a touchdown, to take less sacks and have a higher rating, all than the MVP hopeful Drake May, I'm incredibly impressed. And he absolutely outplayed him. But New England outclassed Denver towards the end of the game. They really did. And maybe let's just, for the sake of it, say Bo Nix makes a difference. I think the score is the exact same, like realistically. And it could be
think you're
flip-flopped.
right.
Like this
I don't think it would have been like an extraordinarily
No,
difference. It
no,
still would have
not
been
at all. No, the teams look lost on offense from start to finish outside of Denver's first drive.
Yeah.
They looked lost. There was no offensive production whatsoever in this game. And you can blame it on the snow, but why did Shady McCoy run all over defenses in the snow?
True.
Like, because at that point, then you're like, well, R.J. Harvey only had 37 yards, and Ramondre Stevenson had 71. Yeah, they struggle in the snow, but how many big snow game guys have we had?
Yeah.
You can't blame it on the weather. This is football.
True.
The defenders are playing in the snow too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think the result of this game is I think that the Broncos can be back next year. I think.
No.
Really?
No.
Okay.
They played a cupcake schedule this season.
All right.
Absolutely
I-
cupcake.
I-
It's just
I
like the
think
Patriots,
that
which is
if-
why they're going to get exposed.
If they hold their team together and they hold majority of that defense together, I think that they could be back. Then I also believe that the Patriots are going to get blown out in 2 weeks. And third, Jared Stidham will be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets.
Do you guys think had the snowstorm not been there, what would the outcome have
I
been?
think it might have been like
It's the
maybe
exact
one or
same.
two. I think
Really?
maybe one or two more touchdowns. It's just even when the snow wasn't a factor,
Right, it still was a
there
boring
wasn't
game.
yeah, there wasn't really much
17 to
happening.
13.
yeah, a 17-13, 17-10 kind of thing.
Very low scoring game.
And that's what I was talking about. The offense were stagnant. Like, they were doing absolutely nothing the entire game. Nobody got a rhythm going whatsoever, pre or post snow.
You probably would have gotten a couple field goals.
Yeah.
Probably be a
Exactly.
field
Which
goal.
the Broncos should have taken theirs, but that's neither here nor there. Moving on. Sammy freaking Darnold, baby. How about that? Sam Darnold is now the first quarterback from the 2018 draft class to make a Super Bowl.
That's
The very
insane.
first one.
You
We're
had
talking Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson
Baker
in that draft
Mayfield.
class. Baker Mayfield, but he was never going to make one anyway.
Josh McCown.
Yeah. No, Josh Allen,
Lamar
Lamar
Jackson.
Jackson in the same draft class as Sam Darnold, and Sammy freaking D is the first one to make a Super Bowl, and I'm fired up.
That's a good one, Sammy D, Sonny D.
Dude, he's Sam Darnold gets me juiced every time I watch him fling the football around.
Get it? Juiced?
He does, man. I love watching Sam Darnold play. The story that he has, everything he went through to come out here and throw 350 and 3 touchdowns with almost perfect passer rating against the Rams. Incredible.
I think it was a great game. It was a great game. Did you see that JSN catch?
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about
JSN is unreal.
real quick? I love that what he has overcome is him being the starter for the Jets and the Panthers.
I love
love that. I find that so hysterical.
Well,
but
How many
anyway,
players overcome 2 bad franchises though?
Baker Mayfield?
In the NFL, yeah.
But did he
in the
overcome it?
But in
Baker?
in the NFL,
Yeah.
you don't get a
Yeah.
third chance often.
Well,
yes,
I mean,
Baker
when he was
plays
on the
better
Browns-
on the Bucks, but what has he done with the Bucks? Nothing.
Not yet.
I mean, he led
Realistically.
them out of the Brady era.
He got
I mean,
them to
he
the
was a
divisional
I know
round.
that was good. That's a good start.
But Sam
Just
Darnold
let's
has
see
the
till next
Seahawks
year.
in the Super Bowl.
I
in
know.
his
I know.
first year.
Sam Darnold right now is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield.
yes,
but
Duffy,
No doubt
I'm glad
about
you-
it.
I'm glad,
No doubt
I'm glad
about
you
it.
found
But
that.
let's see next year. We'll get into why later.
Yeah, and not to take away from Matthew Stafford at his old ripe age, throwing 370
He's
and 3
not
touchdowns
that
yeah, no,
old.
with
nuts.
a nearly
MVP.
identical rating. They
Fully
had
MVP.
nearly an identical QBR and rating.
Yeah, no, I was going to tell the Duff man here that I think that Baker Mayfield is the Josh Allen of Gardner Minshew's.
I can kind of see that. I kind of see it because, like, I mean,
It's
I think
absolutely true.
as of right now, it's true. But if he say he has no success with the Bucks and his career kind of just trickles down, I will 1,000,000% agree with
He
you.
is the best average quarterback I've
He's
probably seen in a long time.
Such a good average quarterback.
Are you
bro.
saying- oh, Baker.
But just wait,
Baker,
just
yeah.
wait. I have high expectations for next season.
I'm glad you do.
You had
Duffy,
our
I really
expectations
am.
this year. You were ready to bet me that
You-
the Bucks were going to the
yes.
Super Bowl.
We had the MVP. Like, I mean, everybody did.
Yeah.
Everybody
The
did,
MVP
though.
through
This
what?
was such a weird. He was
Baker
the
was never the
week-
MVP frontrunner, gang. Never.
Bring it up right here, Emerson. I want like 5 different articles
According to
on
what website?
Baker Mayfield being MVP. You can look at it. You can look it up right now, and you'll
Bet.
find it. It's from weeks 1 through 6.
He was not the MVP frontrunner week
Are
1
you
through
kidding me?
6.
Who
Pat
was?
Mahomes was above him. Be for real.
No,
Duff.
he
We talked
wasn't.
about it
No,
on
he
this
wasn't.
show.
He
We
was
talked about it on
literally
this
on-
show.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I do very much remember what Nate is talking about here.
I know exactly what he's talking
Okay,
about because the
okay.
odds shifted towards like week
Okay.
5 and 6. I think it was maybe
Okay.
6 or 7.
Maybe.
but no, it wasn't 6 or 7.
The Seahawks and the Rams gave us the 3 best games of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
The 3 best games of the year between this rivalry, and it's
Yeah.
beautiful football every single time.
Which one do you think? If you had to rank them,
Oh, dude,
I'm
the
honestly
last
I'm putting
one,
the second one.
game.
Yeah, the second one. Yeah,
The overtime
100%. That was
2-point
amazing.
conversion.
That was
2-3-1.
2-3-1. 2-3-1
Yeah,
for sure.
2-3 yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, in this game, you had Kenneth Walker, who had a great game. The stat sheet doesn't really show it. 19 carries, 62 yards isn't blowing your socks off, but he had a great game. And JSN continued to prove that he is the best receiver in football. Hands down, no doubt about it. 10 catches, 153 yards, and a touchdown. Unreal.
He got out receiving yards by the actual best receiver in football, Puka Nacua.
He did, but it's
I
JSN.
love Puka.
I am a JSN guy. I'm a JSN Glazer. They call me Jackson Smith Glazer.
Oh my gosh. Wait, guys, this might be a dumb question. We can totally not keep this in. Can Matthew Stafford not be MVP now because he didn't?
MVP doesn't relate
No,
to
that
playoffs.
Oh, okay.
Josh Allen was it last year.
Yeah, no, the
Okay.
the
Sorry, I
MVP
didn't know that was
Regular
a dumb
season award.
question.
Yeah, MVP cuts
dumb
off
questions.
week 18. Like anything after week 18 doesn't matter.
Okay.
There's 2 storylines that came after this game. One that I just found out because I was looking up for the stat beforehand. I'll say the first one because I know what it is. There was a news article that broke today where it stated that the Rams were trying to push Cooper Kupp to retire after last season, and he said no because they didn't want him to go and sign with one of their rivals. And
he scored a
did,
touchdown
and he
on 'em.
scored a touchdown on them and eliminated them.
Good for him.
The
Absolutely, he
second
did.
was I just found this out. Enraged Seahawks and Ram coaches came close to a brawl in an elevator over snide Cooper Kupp joke.
You're
That's
lying.
awesome. It's
Let me
awesome.
see if I can find
Wait,
what the
why
joke
were they in the
was.
same
That's
same
awesome.
elevator?
I don't know.
Why would you do that? That's like asking for it.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
awesome.
Let me see if I can find the joke. But Kupp left the Rams at the last season.
I hope JJ McCarthy is crying right now because Sam Darnold used to play for the Vikings, a crappy franchise. I don't care.
I hope it wasn't a Right Rice joke.
One offensive
Ray Rice
coach
joke.
asked which Seattle player had been responsible and when another replied that it was Cup, the coach snickered as though he expected the answer. That
This
was
was in an
overheard by the
elevator?
Seahawks outside linebackers coach, Chris Patridge, and this enraged response caused Rams defensive rush coordinator Drew Wilkins to yell back at him. It's then claimed Patridge had to be held back by other members of the Seahawks coaching staff to avoid the incident escalating.
This is all
Nice.
happening in an elevator?
Yep.
Nice, dude.
Wow.
Nice.
Supposedly, they were discussing a fumble that happened. And yeah, after the
Tea.
yeah,
Nice.
I don't know. Yeah,
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Yeah, but I mean that just goes to show the rivalry. And you know what I
Yeah.
love about like the NFC West rivalry? The Niners fans are gonna have to watch the Seahawks possibly win a Super Bowl in their home stadium before they
Which
do.
is hilarious.
Yeah.
I want the Seahawks to win, but to be honest, I think the Patriots are going to win.
What about
though?
their performance over the weekend makes you think that? Give me
Yeah,
some
I think
analytical
To
breakdown
be
here,
so
Alyssa.
honest with you, though, can I tell you why I think the Patriots will win?
I'm hoping so.
I have a feeling I know what it is, and I'm
You know exactly
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
go
gonna say.
off if you think it is.
Okay. Well, I don't want to.
No,
go
you
off
can
on
say
this.
it. You can say it.
But I think that the Patriots are gonna win because they have so many wins already.
Knew
They've
that.
been in the arena. They
Okay.
know. They know.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So you're basing it off of history.
Not just history, but I think when a team has played in the Super Bowl so many times, you know what to expect. It's not a starstruck to
But
you.
Name-
like,
none,
name
but none of
one
those guys
Super
have been
Bowl.
in a Super Bowl.
Name
Okay.
one player besides Mike Vrabel, and
can't do
I'll
that.
I'll even say in the organization, maybe besides the front office and
Vrabel's
Robert
not
Kraft, that's still on the
See,
team that has
there
to do
isn't
with
one.
the old teams.
I just think that the name and the historic behind it. That's all.
But that's like saying like the
She's
Bears are going to go to the Super Bowl because they had amazing defense in what 87.
85.
85.
Okay,
They did.
whatever.
And
She's
87
she's
too.
expecting the aura of the New England
It's just
Patriots
the aura.
to take
It's,
over,
it's
dude.
the aura of Drake May Lover.
aura.
Yes.
That's just going to cause them to win. Bakemas is going to happen.
One more
Fakeness.
fun fact and something I thought was cool that I want to get to before we really talk Super Bowl. Did you see that the last time the Seahawks played in Levi Stadium, they left unfinished cigars in the locker room?
Really? I didn't
That's
know that.
crazy.
They
Did they get
Oh,
fined?
They did.
man.
And no, and the report was they were planning to finish them after they won the Super Bowl.
Wait, so they were smoking them before?
They smoked them last time they played in Levi this season.
Oh.
And they left them because they planned to be back there after they won the Super Bowl.
No way
that's
that they're
really
still
funny.
there.
And
That's
they didn't get
aura.
fined.
There's no way they're
Dude,
still
I
there.
seen this
No,
post
they won't
yesterday.
get fined.
No, I see this post yesterday, and I thought it was the coolest thing I've ever
Somebody
seen.
definitely
Like,
said
that's
it.
tough,
Yeah,
dude.
that is tough.
That's pretty
Like,
That's
that's-
pretty
that's
sick.
tough.
That's
That's
pretty
pretty sick.
funny.
Imagine they like hit it in like the ceiling tile
The
or
amount
something.
of
That'd be so
confidence,
sick.
the amount of confidence that it takes to
Yeah.
leave cigars there.
Yeah.
If that's the reason why, maybe
It's
they
like-
forgot them.
It's like you ever seen those fans where it'll be like the Super Bowl is happening at their their team's home stadium or something,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll leave like a note or something in like the bathroom
Yeah.
ceiling tile, and then they'll go to the Super Bowl and go grab it,
Yeah.
and then be like, "This was my prediction. Let's see if
Yeah.
I was
I know
right."
what you're talking
It's like one
about,
of
yeah.
those.
Yeah, dude. And now, ladies and gentlemen, there is only one game remaining in the NFL season. I've dreaded this day, this time for a long,
Why would
long
you dread
time.
it?
Because that means that we have
No
to
more
wait
football.
until
Oh.
September.
You
for
would
more
never
football.
understand.
You don't get it.
God.
You don't
that was me.
understand my
7
problems.
long months with no NFL games.
That's-
God
7
forbid.
long months.
Ooh.
That has to be
Yes,
one of the
God forbid.
levels of
You're
hell.
absolutely
Hey,
correct.
Formula
One of the
One-
Why
levels
would you
of hell.
dread the end of football season, dude?
Dude, yeah. Like,
Hey, you know what we can talk about though to
Hmm.
fill the time? Formula One's coming back in a month.
There's gonna be there's gonna be a lot to talk about. I was thinking about
dude,
this
yeah.
earlier.
Pee poo poo.
Thank
We
you.
have spring training coming up.
Spring.
Woo!
We have hockey.
Oh.
There's some
I
hockey.
don't
No,
care about
hockey's pretty
hockey.
good.
I don't
Hockey's
care
pretty
about
good.
hockey.
Then we have the World Cup.
Woo!
We have the American Baseball Classic.
And we have Formula
Uh,
One, which is the
F1.
highest grossing, the fastest
the world
growing
baseball.
sport
F1?
Yeah, World
F1 is
yeah, that's
the
what I meant.
fastest
Yeah,
growing
World
sport
Baseball Classic.
in the world. ATM.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered the saddest time in the history of America annually when NFL football is set to come to a close. There's only one game left. The big game, Super Bowl 60, the end of the NFL season, and then we will be stuck watching other things until September. Baseball is great, but it's not the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, you still got the World Cup. That'll be amazing. You got the World Baseball Classic. That'll be
You
amazing.
still got
Woo!
World
World Baseball Classic. I do love that.
Technically, you have the
Good
UF.
stuff. It's good stuff, dude.
What is it? UFL.
UFL.
XFL.
The UFL kind of goes hard.
It
What's
does.
the
I like
UFL?
it. It's a whole
United
it's spring,
Football League.
Yep. It's
Dwayne The
spring
Rock
football.
Johnson used to own
Yep.
it.
Really?
Does he not
Yeah.
anymore? I think he
don't
does.
so. Does he?
I think he still does.
Who owns the UFL?
I'm almost positive it's still
Fox
The Rock.
owns 50%, and other partners share the remaining.
We need another
yeah, I
liberal
think
and
one of them-
president.
I
We
think
can
one
have
of
the
them-
XFL back
yes,
again. dude.
Dwayne The Rock
Yeah,
Johnson still
Dwayne
does.
yep.
Nice. But basically, we have a rematch of the game where all you had to do was run the damn ball. And now we wonder, we sit and wait. Are the Seahawks going to make the same mistake in 2 weeks from now?
You're kind
Have
of
to
going
wait
bar
and
for
see.
bar right now.
We'll have to wait and see. Will Sam Darnold throw the ball to a pick six to Carlton Davis III?
Sammy freaking Darnold, all right?
On the
Sam
1 yard
Darnold
line.
is about to light up the New England Patriots. You heard it here first. I'm talking 375 for Bills, all right? 375
Yep.
for Bills.
Yep.
It's coming, all
That
right?
man's going to be playing his Jets highlights before the game.
The
He's gonna get
Patriots,
pissed.
the
He's gonna get
Patriots
real
are
mad.
incredibly suspect at this point in time. The performance that they put on against the Broncos is completely unacceptable.
Atrocious.
And it will not work in the Super Bowl. Now they'll be in a dome. No snow. Doesn't matter, because before the snow, they put up 7 points. So my point is, Sammy freaking D is about to come in, and he's gonna shut down that new dynasty
yeah.
talk for New England.
Did you know that they have a new name? It's called the Mob.
The Mob?
Yeah.
The Seahawks?
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
their nickname.
I love that.
Do you
The
know what
Mob.
it is?
That's iconic.
Do you know what it is? Mentally over bullshit.
Nice.
Oh, that's not
Yeah.
what I
Nice.
was going
They're the
for.
mob.
I seen
That's a let a naysayer know sort of deal.
Oh,
let
yeah.
a naysayer know.
Yeah.
I seen what they used to be the Legion of Boom. Now they're the something.
Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom.
They're the Legion
I
of
do
Doom
like
and
that.
the Mob.
I do like
Yeah.
that. The new Legion of Boom. It's now the Legion of Doom, and I predict nothing but doom for the New England
Yeah.
Patriots.
and if
in
you
this
like
one.
grammar, it's the Legion of whom.
Yo, McDonald.
Ooh.
McDonald, don't
That's an
Nux.
FGCU alum right there.
Yo, McDonald. Run the damn ball on the 1 yard line if it comes down to it.
it's not going to
please.
come down to it because they're going to be up 30.
That's right.
Hopefully.
That's right.
Hopefully.
Maybe not up 30, but I do think Seattle absolutely wins this game. I don't really. I'm not even going to take time to analyze this one because I'm so confident in Sammy D. All right. And
We'll see.
Head coach drama. Head coach drama.
Yes, lots of it. Hoagie's watching the Michigan
Yeah,
game.
note to viewers, Mr. Ryan Hogan, a.k.a. Humongous Hoagie, a.k.a. Ryan Golf. He is watching the Michigan-Nebraska game right now. Michigan happens to be down 5 with 9.5 minutes left. Oh, wait, here's a 3. And, okay, they're still down 5. Anyway, Brian Dable has officially landed in Tennessee and will be signing as their new offensive coordinator, previously thought to be a position that really nobody would want.
No.
Now you have Brian Dable and Robert Saleh as your head coach duo in Tennessee.
You're both the
doomed.
Kings of New York.
They're doomed.
Both the Kings in the New York. Well, I guess
Kings?
Jersey.
Rejected
well, yeah,
Kings?
they were executed, actually, beheaded.
The Titans are going to be in piss for a decade.
Going to be in
I think it could be interesting. I think
It's
it
not
could
going to be good.
interesting.
Robert Saleh is a
It'll
terrible
be
head
interesting
coach.
to watch. Anyway, moving on because we're trying to.
To what we really care about. Here.
We then have Bills signing Joe Brady as their head coach. It's also fun to note that Phillip Rivers interviewed for this position, and he pulled his name out of the hat like a day later. Buddy walked into the facility and saw Josh Allen, who was his last game as a Colt before he retired, and he got into a giant fight with them.
Well, I
He
think
was arguing.
if I'm
He
going
was
to
like,
guess,
I'm the better 17.
if I'm going to guess why he interviewed, I really think it was just for the love of the game.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. I don't
can see
think
it.
Phillip Rivers was ever actually in contention to get this job. They said, "Hey, Phil, want to come in?" And he said, "Sure, let me go put all 9 of my children to sleep first." And so that's what he did. And I think he'll probably just go back to coaching high school ball.
Yeah, he
Probably
also
what
got
he'll do.
he also got a free trip down to Florida, I guess.
Yeah.
because they were doing all their interviews in Florida.
Why
So,
not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Joe Brady. I think it's an okay signing. Not exactly what
I love
think
it.
that they should have went for.
I love it.
I think it's all right.
No,
think
I
it's an
love it
average.
because they're just gonna keep losing to the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Oh,
with this
yeah.
signing.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
No,
Of course.
you know what I really find interesting though about the Bills hiring process? Something I have not heard a lot. Josh Allen has sat in on every interview they've done.
I also
Why?
believe that the
They're
same.
giving him like an opinion. He
Yeah.
gets a say.
That's fair.
It's really cool, and it also happened with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah,
Lamar
like I say.
Jackson has been sitting in the conversations, but he has no say.
Yeah.
He's just been listening and doing what he's told, just like a
I
good
almost
boy.
feel like it's pointless though to let him sit in and have
don't.
no opinion.
I know, but I mean, maybe he did have an opinion. Maybe he
Yeah.
gets to like have some comments, but I feel like it was ultimately the owner's position.
But is this
a
do you-
decision?
Do you think this is something we're going to see more often now, where franchises are
Yeah.
going to let their franchise star sit in
Yeah.
on interviews?
I
100%.
think, and I
But-
think that's
but what do you
totally
do, though?
It's a
fair to
quarterback.
do,
But if you're the
though.
Browns, are you letting Myles Garrett sit in on your head coach
No.
interview? No.
No.
Maybe you're DC.
DC, yes.
But I think if I'm as a Chiefs fan, absolutely, I want Patrick Mahomes sitting in on
You're
a
a
meeting.
Chiefs fan?
Shut up.
Yeah, what does Myles Garrett care about the defensive coordinator?
He doesn't,
just go maul the quarterback.
he
He
doesn't.
is the simplest job in sports.
No, he doesn't. But he's
He'll
the
be an
franchise
animal.
star. So I mean, if you're going to let them sit in, I think Myles Garrett really wouldn't. But I mean, as a Chiefs fan, I want Patrick Mahomes in on the meeting when Andy Reid retires.
Yeah,
absolutely.
When Todd Bowles is ultimately fired, which is going to happen in like 365 days.
You thought it was going to happen this year,
You
pal.
I
did
fully
think it
thought
was
it
gonna
was,
happen
and
this
it will
year?
happen next year. If it's not, I'm gonna
Aiden
be really mad.
DeFraud.
I'm gonna be really mad. But I would want Baker sitting in on conversations.
No, and I think that's
100%.
totally fair because that's your quarterback. You
Exactly.
I would want his opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Personally,
think that precedent could come across sports, perhaps from LeBron having some say in his team?
Well, I don't think
historically
he's going to be
throughout
on the
his
Lakers
La
for much
GM?
longer.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be on the Lakers much longer.
Well, he's
There's
not
been
going to go
beef
to a
around
different
that.
team.
Well, he said that he doesn't want to retire a Laker as of a couple days ago.
Well, moving on.
Moving on.
Mike McDaniel officially
Signed as
signed.
the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. This happened
Which
5 minutes
we-
ago. 5 minutes after we finished filming
Last
the
week's
last episode,
episode.
where I was talking about, next week I'm going to be able to talk about Mike McDaniel being the Buccaneers offensive coordinator.
Fraud.
you fraud.
John
Duffy,
Lynch,
You
what
got
is
the
going on?
special
What is
teams
going
coach.
on?
Duffy
What's
has
going on,
a
Jason?
Duffy has an issue where he thinks every person ever is going to come to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No, because in the statement that was released when he was on his way to LA to sign the contract, it was stated that the Buccaneers was his second option and that they pursued him. No, like the Buccaneers was his second option, and they pursued him as hard as they possibly could and came to this result, which was not him. They actually did sign the Falcons' old offensive coordinator, though,
Terrible hire.
and I think it's okay.
It's terrible.
I think it's all
Terrible
right.
hire.
A lot of people are saying that he was limited due to his quarterback play with Kirk Cousins and the other guy. Anyway, moving on. Mike McCarthy signs as head coach for the Steelers. He is the oldest and only the fourth head coach in franchise history in Pittsburgh.
I'm honestly so surprised
bad.
that the Steelers are like, well, Tomlin's gone. Let's hire another mediocre NFL coach.
Let's hire one of the worst coaches. I mean,
I don't love it.
I feel bad for the Pisons in Pittsburgh. It's
I don't
not
love
gonna be
it.
good. It's not going to be fun.
And in bigger news, Bill Belichick was not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Is it because
the eight-time Super Bowl winning coach
Is it
will
because
not be a first ballot? That's
of
insane.
his 24-year-old girlflriend?
What
I
happened
think
to this
I think so.
country?
I think
I
so.
think it is
What-
too.
Exactly.
What
To-
happened?
To quote Shane Gillis, what happened to this country? What
No,
happened
you
to
wanna know
an
why
old
I
guy
think
having
so?
a young girlfriend? Who cares?
Yeah,
You
what
want to know
happened?
why I think so? Because I think they're looking more at his personal life than his stats as a coach, and I think, you know what, if we do this, people are gonna be like, "Oh, he's got this young
100%.
girlfriend."
I
I
think
completely
that was
disagree.
this and that.
Really?
Completely
Like-
disagree. When you look at his resume, I mean, he was on staff but not head coach for 2 of the rings, and then he got 6 with Brady, and he's been absolutely awful as a coach since then. So I think, really, are you weighing it as, Bill Belichick is a Hall of Fame head coach, or Bill Belichick had the greatest quarterback of all time?
I don't know because
You have to
I mean,
weigh those options. You have
There's
to weigh those options.
there's a lot of people coming out right now.
'Cause, I mean, look what he
talking
did
about it.
And I know it's North Carolina, but look what he did with UNC. They were terrible.
I know, but it's just like
and he did nothing with the Patriots after Brady left.
still
Nothing.
you don't. I mean, the guy has one of the most Super Bowl rings in NFL history.
Yeah, he also
You
had
can't-
he had phenomenal defensive players his entire head coaching stint in New England, and he had Tom Brady. He had Randy Moss. He had
I
Wes
don't know.
Welker. He had Julian Edelman. I mean, he had
Yeah,
a
but if we were talking
plethora
about
of running backs who turned out to be awesome when they went to New England. I mean,
I still don't. I
He
don't
had-
think that
and
you disrespect
Gronk.
him.
I was gonna
And
say.
Gronk.
I was just supposed to say Roberto Gronkowski.
yeah, and Gronk.
Yo
I
soy
mean,
fiesta.
I mean, if you're a head coach, what more can you need? Bill Belichick had the world in front of him in New England, and he wins 6 Super Bowls, and guess what? All of them are gone, and he wins nothing.
I don't know. I completely disagree. I mean, you have a text from an NFL. These are just some quotes. I'll read some out and then we'll move on. Text from an NFL executive: the 10+ people that didn't vote for Bill Belichick should be exposed. WTF, this is crazy. Now leading on to a text from someone close to Bill Belichick: no man cares about the history of football more than Bill. Today is a sad day for the league that he loves. Another quote: Patrick Mahomes II, insane, don't don't even understand how this could be possible.
Oh, my sweet prince. Patrick
Another
LeBron
quote.
A second.
My
sweet prince.
Also, breaking news: Joe Lombardi, the Broncos' offensive coordinator, has been fired.
Tough.
Keep moving on. Mike Freeman. The Pro Football Hall of Fame isn't some mechanism to punish people or settle old scores. You don't make Bill Belichick wait a year as a disciplinary action. He's a Hall of Famer or he isn't. And of course he is. Damian Woody, I don't care what your feelings are towards Bill. You just made a jackass out of yourself and you should never have a vote moving forward.
That's enough quotes.
And then there was another one from JJ Watt. Also, more coaching news. The Jets reached out to John Gruden about the idea of joining their staff under head coach Aaron Glenn, but Gruden was not interested.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
And
either.
their Jets
If the
fired
Jets.
their offensive coordinator today.
Wouldn't be either. If the Jets said, hey, Nate, you want to come coach us for $1 billion? Heck no!
Nope.
I don't want to be sad for a year.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, that kind of wraps up our coaching sideline shuffle. Let us know if you like that segment. Anyway, moving on to a very interesting topic that I don't think any of us would have thought that we were going to talk about this week. Dave Portnoy is no longer banned from NFL games.
I love Dave.
I love it. I love it.
Mr. Pizza.
One bite,
Props to
everyone
the No
knows the
Fun
rules.
League. Props to the No Fun League for actually doing something right for once. I mean, this man, he was using one of his amendments in the Constitution. He was using his free will of speech. He's allowed to. He protested the wrongful suspension of Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Wrongful.
during the
It was-
Deflategate.
It was proven. Wrongful.
Anyway, then
Who are we talking about?
Moving on to history, more history about David Portnoy. You had Dave Portnoy shipped over millions of towels and T-shirts with Roger Goodell's face on it. We'll throw up a picture right here of it with a clown nose on it. Moving forward more in history, he then goes to 2 different Super Bowls, gets dragged out of both. One, he was wearing a fake mustache to try and prove that it wasn't him.
Awesome.
And I believe that he went as Davio Portnoy. I think that was his
That's
his
awful.
name that he used. Then keep moving on. You then transfer all the way over to COVID, where the NFL had an auction, and the highest bidder did they just score? Nice. Then keep moving forward. We're all the way up to COVID, where the NFL had an auction where the highest bidder would be able to watch an NFL game in the basement of the commish, Roger Goodell. The highest bidder gets to watch an NFL game with Roger Goodell in his basement of where
Who would
the 2020
ever want to do that?
supposedly Dave Portnoy, because
just
I
wants
think
to
it was
trash
over
him the whole time.
Yeah, he donated over $1 million. I think it was over $5 million too, to be able to do this and to just kind of sit down with him and talk to him why he's banned from NFL games. His then NFL security decided that Dave Portnoy did not pass a background check. So that was scrapped.
I wonder what was like on the background check.
It was probably just that it's Dave
Everything.
Portnoy.
Yeah.
But as of 2 days ago, or I think it was this morning officially, Tuesday, January 27th, 2026, Dave Portnoy is allowed to go to the Super Bowl 60 to watch his Patriots
Thank
lose
God.
to the Seattle Seahawks.
Ice, skates, beer, fighting.
And coldness somehow in Tampa. This weekend is the Stadium Series in the National Hockey League, and it's taking place in Tampa. And they're going to be looking at the TVs and the weather thinking, am I watching the Winter Classic? Somehow this weekend, we have a 20% chance of snow here in Florida. In the Tampa Bay area.
I left Michigan because of the snow.
I left New York
Forward
because
to
of the
this.
snow. We had 20 inches of snow regularly over the
love the
entire
snow.
country this season, and Florida was bragging about it. It was all over the news. You guys, we don't have to experience winter.
Yes,
well,
but at the
now
same
that we do.
time,
Guys.
it has been 40 degrees here in the morning, which I know sounds
Okay,
like
that's
I'm,
like nothing. If there's
okay,
people watching in New York, it's like negative 10
I know,
degrees.
but just saying to us, I'm not even a Floridian, but just saying to the people who actually live here, it's cold.
Yeah, and it's supposed
cold.
to. It's projected to be even colder. I got to brought it up right now. Models are beginning to pick up the very real possibility parts of the Gulf Coast could see a rare phenomenon called the Gulf effect snow. Some areas over the Gulf could see over an inch of snow, and Tampa could even get up to a quarter of an inch.
Dude, that's a lot. That's like perhaps too much.
That's
perhaps too much.
Some
a
would say
lot.
that that's massive. This is honestly going to be awesome for the sport of hockey. I mean, you're getting the chance to watch hockey outdoors in Tampa Bay
While Gasparilla is going.
while Gasparilla is going on. Also, Emerson's sitting behind the camera, by the way, for the first time ever. Throw up a picture right here of the Gasparilla themed hockey
Aesthetic.
rink that they have in Ray J right now, home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, by the way. I mean,
God.
I love that they're leaning in to the Gasparilla theme. I think it's fantastic.
Oh,
I
and
think
to
it's going to
those
be
of
great
you
for hockey.
who may not know what Gasparilla is, actually,
It's the
I don't
greatest day of
I
the
couldn't
year.
really tell you what Gasparilla is, but it's when the people of Tampa Bay all dress up like pirates and drink out in the streets all day.
It is pirate themed Mardi Gras.
It is.
Imagine,
That's a good way to put it.
imagine the first time you heard the Beatles, and then add a bag of tropical Skittles to that, and that's Gasparilla.
I think
Yeah.
Christmas in Florida is a little watered down. It's really not the same experience. This is a Floridian's proper Christmas.
It
Yeah,
absolutely
this
is.
is this
This
is
is a true celebration.
Now,
This is winter.
I'm not very happy though that while I'm walking around Gasparilla, there's a chance that a snowflake could drop on my noggin.
Yeah.
I'm not pleased about that.
which almost all of us are from. the
However,
North, so
Yeah.
Bring it on,
yeah,
bring it on, baby.
Have that liquid blanket.
a winter themed Gasparilla. Never thought I'd
Wow.
see the day.
It's beginning to look a lot like Gatsby.
Whoa, that
But anyway, I think it's gonna be great
in
for
every store.
Hey,
But I honestly, I think it's gonna be great for the world of hockey. I know we don't talk about it much, but I mean, the Tampa Bay Lightning just sadly snapped their franchise tying win streak of 11 games with a shootout 3-2 against the St. Louis Blues. I mean, this is one of the best teams since the Christmas break. Can't wait to keep seeing what they're doing. I'm a Rangers fan, and I know it's kind of like you, how you're a Packers and Lions
Oh,
fan.
here we go.
I'm a Rangers and Lightning
Fraud.
fan. I
Here we
love
go.
Tampa
Fraud.
Bay, but I'm from New York,
Here
and
we
my whole
go.
family's
Packers and
Rangers
Lions.
fans.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't
So-
know this?
Okay.
Alyssa Fraudliano. Fraud.
That's making me
We
sick.
decided until the last week of the season to bring this up.
I was hoping this
Ah,
had
it makes
never.
me sick.
By the way, I was
Boo
hoping
on
this
you.
never made it onto the record.
Whoa.
By the way, but
Fraud.
Anyway, it's going to be a great weekend for hockey. It's going to
Yeah,
be a
how'd we
great
get on
weekend for
that?
drinkers. It's going to be a great weekend for Pirates.
Watch some hockey, eh?
And
oh,
drink some beer at
Canada.
Gatsby.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most American sports of all time.
The
right.
most American.
Oh, okay.
America's
All right.
pastime.
America's
it's
pastime.
literally the pastime. It is.
Hot dogs.
is being completely ruined. And for your information, this is Emerson Mahoney,
Our editor.
our editor,
Yes.
He makes
and
us look
now
good.
baseball specialist.
Oh yeah.
Emerson, you want to send us off a little bit? Tell me why MLB is being ruined and why America's pastime is being completely trashed on.
Well, one word. Money.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Krabs' favorite word, money.
Yeah. Go ahead. Take it off.
I mean, you got the Dodgers. We got the owner, Mark Walter, with a net worth of $7.3 billion and a payroll of $354 million last year. That's a lot of money. The number 2 team, the Mets, is only $25.3 million underneath that. But here's the problem. They're just spending money like it's no one's business, and they have no limit to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of seeming like they're going to turn the 2027 season. I don't believe it's going to happen this year. We're too close to the season already. If the Dodgers end up winning the World Series back to back to back, one of the first teams to do so, I fully believe that the 2027 season just isn't going to exist. There's going to be a complete lockout. It's not going to be fun for America. It's not going to be fun in general for baseball watchers. I mean, this is the kind of deal where the Players Association and the MLB need to come to a complete middle ground, because there's teams that want there to be a salary cap, there's teams that don't want there to be a salary cap, and there's teams that want there to be a floor, and there's teams that don't want there to be a floor. And it's honestly kind of flip-flop. The teams that want there to be a salary cap, they don't want there to be a floor, and the teams that don't want there to be a salary cap, they want there to be a floor. Because either way, you're going to be having these smaller own teams, such as maybe the A's or I'm trying to think.
The Royals.
The Royals.
Yeah.
My beloved Kansas City Royals.
These
Yes.
teams aren't going to be able to
Salvi.
keep up with teams such as the Dodgers. And it's just going to cause complete havoc on the baseball world, which it already has. I mean, Shohei Ohtani, I know you know a couple more of the players that these contracts are just completely ruining baseball.
I mean, the recent one was Kyle Tucker, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that, we're talking money. That has a $57 million tax implication. They're paying 110% of luxury tax.
That
Yeah.
is
Because that's
so
how it works.
crazy.
That's how it's structured. Is if you're over a certain number, you're paying luxury tax.
Yeah.
Teams like the Dodgers, they just don't care.
Yeah.
It just they do not. The Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets, they just do not care at all, and they're willing to pay hundreds of millions of dollars for tax.
And
Yeah.
what'd you say the owner's name was?
Mark Walter,
How much is his net worth?
$7.3 billion. This
Yeah,
man
the guy
owns-
can pay it.
Yeah,
he
he
can pay it.
owns a private financial service and has already invested a bunch of other LA teams. Like the man's raking in dough, like it's literally his job.
I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. I
Yeah.
mean, they have the luxury tax in for a reason, and it's almost like it doesn't exist because these owners are so rich that they could just keep paying it.
Yeah. And you may be wondering, now why do all these things matter so much? And I think the easiest solution would be a salary cap, like we talked about, plus the salary floor, also
Yeah.
mentioned. And then, like Hoagie's talking about the luxury tax, you have to have a harsher luxury tax.
Yeah.
Because then you have it, and you're not having teams like the Dodgers or the Mets or the Yankees that are like, yeah, we'll pay it no matter what. And they can just keep spending money however they want. And it really comes into play when you talk about small market teams, the A's, the Royals. Because with that floor, they have to go out and spend and get talent. You know, because a lot of small market teams right now are forced to just develop players. And if a player's not developing, they have no chance of getting, high level talent. You have the Otanis, the Bellingers, the Judges. I mean, all those guys that are playing for high market teams, and there's no small market team that can afford them whatsoever. And so you have to combine those things to really bring some parity into baseball. What the Guardians just did with Jose Ramirez was beautiful. That team-friendly deal, they keep around a high-level talent like that, and they're not a high-market team. But they were able to develop him so well, and then they spent the money on him and kept him. But they're not going out here and giving Shohei Ohtani a 10-year, $800 million contract that's getting, what did they do with his contract? They put like some special terminology on it.
It's they deferred. They're
Yeah,
deferring money.
Yeah, the deferred
It's
contract.
deferred way back. Yeah.
Yeah, with his translator. Yeah, don't think we forgot.
And it's concerning because if that disparity gets too big, the small market teams become almost like a farm system for the Dodgers. If
Exactly.
you play good enough, you can go get $60 million from the Dodgers.
Oh yeah.
And that kind of ruins the parity of the game.
Yeah, we live in a world where a Bobby Witt Jr. who got a 10-year, $250 million deal from the Royals can play well enough, and he wants more money. Well, guess what? The Royals can't pay him. Who can? The Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers.
Yeah.
They snatch him up. This is what they do with everybody. It's what the Yankees did with Giancarlo Stanton from Miami. I mean, they literally just watch other guys play all-star baseball for small teams, and then they're like, here's $200 extra million. Come play for us. And then the small market teams are left with nothing.
Yeah,
That's where we
they did
sit
it with
at
Jazz
right now.
too.
With who?
Jazz Chisholm Jr.
Yeah.
We did the same exact thing.
I mean, the thing is, though, the reason that it's going to get to a lockout is because the Players Association is never going to agree to a salary cap. It's just never going to happen unless you have guys that just play for the love of the game, which hopefully is the majority. Because imagine you're at work and your job is like, we're going to cap you at this much money. This is all the money that you can make. Why would you want that?
Personally,
you
I
could
would
go
not.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. You almost all the time in your career, you want to start going to the place that's going to offer you more money. And that's exactly what's happening with baseball. But the problem is it's only like 4 or 5 teams, maybe 6 or 7. And
Gosh.
as you said, it's literally a farm. It's you build up this talent on the A's, and it's, oh, you want like $1 billion? We got you.
Absolutely.
We can pay you. And the players are never going to agree to that because they don't want to be limited on the amount of money that they
Yeah.
can make.
How many A's fans wish they could have watched Mason Miller his whole career? They want to
Yeah.
see. They want to see cheddar. They want to see cheese. And nope, it's gone.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, look at a guy like Juan Soto, a guy that played for the Nationals before, and he was balling, and the Yankees are like, "Oh, come hither, give him some money," and then the Mets are like, "Oh, we'll match that and double
Yeah.
it. Now he's got a 15-year contract worth $765 million. And you're going to go sit that guy down and be like, sorry, bud, you can't have half that money now. It's not going to happen.
No.
I mean, Shohei Ohtani, like we talked about his deal. Vlad Guerrero Jr. has the largest extension, 14 years, $500 million as an extension.
Yeah.
I mean, on top of what he was already making with the Blue Jays. You're never going to convince these guys it's okay to make less money when they
Yeah.
got that much money in front of them.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you're not going to have, like, Shohei Ohtani. He has the largest contract, I believe, in sports history.
10 years,
correct?
$700 million.
Yeah. This man,
Deferred.
why would he go anywhere else? He's getting this much money. Nobody else can pay him. I mean, why would Shohei Ohtani ever want to leave? I mean, you're going to get all this money if you just stay. And if he wants an extension, he's probably going to get even more. Nobody's ever going to be able to offer him this unless there's a salary cap and a salary floor. There should be a salary floor as well, because you don't want these over-talented players like Shohei or Juan Soto or Kyle Tucker. You don't want to be paying them dirt. No, they should be offered like $50 million contracts and everything. Like, how much was Kyle Tucker's?
$420 million.
He didn't deserve
Yeah, that
it.
shouldn't. That
Not deserved.
I watched him.
you don't deserve
my
that.
God.
The only reason that they did that was specifically
And he
so that
had-
he would play in blue and white.
Yeah, I mean, he had a slump last year for like most of the second half of the season where he grounded out or struck out like
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
time.
And he automatically
he
defer-
played terrible in the second half last year.
Yeah.
and he made $60 million.
And he somehow is now worth almost 500 mil.
Well,
Makes no
here's
sense.
the other side of the coin, though. If they do introduce a salary cap and a floor to the MLB, do you think that really changes things up enough to where you'll see different teams in the World Series like a lot, or are you still going to have the same teams that are in the top 4 each year?
I mean,
'Cause look
I
at the
think
NFL.
so. You
Look
have-
at the NFL, though.
yeah.
The last 14 years, it's been the Patriots or Chiefs or what? Patriots, Chiefs, Broncos.
Seahawks.
Like
too.
in the AFC Championship game.
It's
is what I'm
just
saying.
Oh, in the
sport, Nick.
AFC,
It's just
yeah.
sport.
Yeah.
The NBA did it when we had Curry and LeBron
That's what
every
I'm
year.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
There's
do we
going
just
to be
have teams that develop players better or better franchises, or does money really come into play in that, though?
Yeah, I mean, you also kind of see it in the NFL, but they have it set perfectly for contract-wise, in my opinion, because you have the salary cap. It works out perfectly for each team. There's not a team that is spending this oh my god amount of money, because the Browns are paying Myles Garrett this insane amount of money, and then you have the Patriots, who I don't believe have like a contract that's anywhere near Myles Garrett.
Well, yes, but in the NFL, you can still defer money. You can convert
Yeah.
it into signing
Yeah.
bonuses. You can do all sorts of things with it. That's what the Chiefs do with Patrick Mahomes every
Mm-hmm.
year. He should be making $70 million a year right now, but they convert it, they push it back, and now it goes down to 45.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they do that in other leagues too, but baseball, their spending limit, they have no spending limit. So
Yeah.
they can do it with so much more money
Yeah.
to sign
that's
whoever they
that's
want.
the problem, because I feel like if, say this happens, I think that it's going to be about, you have like a 75% chance that you're going to start seeing other teams pop up in the
Right.
playoffs and in the championships, because I feel no, you don't agree. Go ahead.
I mean, that depends though, because they got to be willing to put the money though, because just because the cap is there, if they're not going to spend the money to begin with, it's not going to matter whether there's a cap or not.
It depends on where they're going to put the cap.
That's true.
That's
Yeah,
the
but
problem.
you still need it. Like it's still going to be tiered off to where certain teams are going to need bullpen. Like there's it's going to get it. It will always over 162 games. It
Yeah.
always tiers out to
Yeah, well, that's
Absolutely.
true.
something really close. That's why baseball is the way it is. It's a sample
Yeah.
size game. It's,
Yeah.
I'm really
averages
curious
out.
to how it's gonna end up, because it's also like, it also brings in the question, what happens to these guys' contracts that are like 10 years, like Shohei Ohtani's 10 years.
Yeah,
right?
10
Well, I
years.
think you can't touch them. You have to leave.
Yeah,
them as
you just
being
have to leave
moving
them-
forward.
yeah.
has to be after.
I mean, then
'Cause
you're gonna keep seeing the Dodgers, because all these contracts are set.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can't break the contracts though.
Exactly.
So like they have
Yeah.
to keep them, but I don't think it will keep being the Dodgers, because eventually, I mean, if these guys are like, well, screw it, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
get this money anyway, but I can go play somewhere else and fresh start or get a new contract there.
Yeah.
It's still big, but it's not this much.
Yeah.
But they're still getting that money. Why not? Because a lot of these guys are getting a lot of guaranteed money. Because they're long deals. I mean, they're not. The Dodgers aren't like, oh, here's a $700 million contract, but we're only going to guarantee you $100 million. Like, there's a lot of that he's going to get regardless.
True.
And they don't exactly have a lot of holes in their roster to
Exactly.
fill. That's
Yeah.
the other thing is like they have the number one farm system, and they're not even bringing anybody up.
Yeah.
They're willing to spend an extra $120 million every year for Tucker.
Yeah.
But
And so
Instead
that,
of bringing up one prospect that's probably
I have
hungry
a
and
question.
talented.
Sorry. If in 2027 there's no MLB, won't they lose more money?
Yeah, that's the whole
yeah.
that's
So
the whole
then-
problem. I mean, you had an
Yeah.
NBA lockout. What year was it? Like in the 90s, right?
It was like the late 90s. I
Yeah,
think.
it was late
So
90s,
what's the
and I think
point?
it was like relatively over the same kind of deal. You're gonna start losing a lot of money, but it's fully on both sides to come
Do
up
you
with
think
the
that
middle
the
ground.
players
It
would
was-
like go on strike or something?
I don't think it's that they'll go on strike. It's they literally cannot pay until the Players Association comes up with a deal with the MLB.
Yeah, so this happened in 1998, 98-99 season. There was a 50-game season, and then it happened in 2011, and the owners wanted a stricter salary cap and better revenue share. So each of these games, I mean, 2011, they only played 66 games, and 98, they only played 50.
Yeah.
So we see it in other sports. Now, I mean, you have 162 games, so I think even with a lockout, you're going to get a lengthy season.
Yeah.
This isn't
Right.
gonna, they're not
Yeah.
going to, the MLB is not going to allow themselves to lose
That's
that
why I'm
much
saying
money.
they're
No.
not
Yeah.
just not going to have any games
Yeah.
that season.
No, I think that you're definitely going to lose some games. I don't believe whatsoever. I don't know if the date is in place yet for opening day for 2027. I doubt it. But because we're not even into the 2026 season yet, I doubt that whenever that date is announced, that's not when they're playing.
I don't even think that it may be that soon, if I'm being real. Let's not forget the Blue Jays were honestly one step away from winning that game. That base slide at the 9th-ish inning. Had one little thing been different, that's a completely different story.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many arguments on both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Because you also have, I hate to say it because I'm a Mets fan, but they're the second highest spending team. They have the second highest payroll, and we didn't even make the playoffs. I mean, so you have that. Then you also have what you just said, the Blue Jays, literally a game of inches. I mean, there's controls on this switchboard that's right in front of me that are probably bigger than the amount of inches that were in between. Whose hand was it?
It was the catcher, Will Smith. I don't remember who the base runner is.
I mean, it was like that much in between the base
Yeah.
and him being safe. So you never know. There's a lot of in betweens, but I just hope that baseball doesn't continue to get ruined.
So how then do they set a floor and then how do they cap it? Like how
They
does
just have to.
that-
It's just communication. They
Yeah.
just got to come up with a deal, see what's fair, what both
But
sides
either
think is
way,
fair.
someone's not going to be happy.
That's why they have votes. It's majority rules.
Okay,
So
I gotcha, I
it's
gotcha.
yeah.
I
But
mean, what do you think a fair number is then for
Yeah.
a floor? If you have a team like the Dodgers who have $364 million to spend, what's
Yeah.
a floor?
I'd have to see what the lowest payroll is.
It's
If we could bring up what the lowest,
Let's pull up a chart.
what the lowest payroll is, I think whatever that is.
the Marlins,
Oh,
Miami,
Yeah, you called that earlier.
I was talking about
you
it.
called that earlier.
Miami.
Yeah, it was Miami. This guy does not spend money at all and just has been relying completely
Yeah.
on the farm system for
Bless you.
building to the future. As someone who kind of watches the Marlins, I don't really know how well that's going to go because, yeah, you build to the future, but you need the veterans. You need the halfway through their season kind of guys to really show them how it's done in play. I mean, the Marlins have traded players like Eric Wagaman and Edward Cabrera. I've been watching them over the past couple years, and they have honestly been doing really well. Edward Cabrera being a starting pitcher and Wagaman being an infielder, and they have performed well. And what do? Trade them. And
I mean, Nate, what was the salary cap?
Like
I don't wanna
69
tell you.
million.
The Miami Marlins salary payroll is $67 million.
There's always one of them in
my
this
God.
show.
Yeah, I mean
So-
you got the Marlins, the A's, the Rays, the White Sox, the Pirates, all under $100 million for payroll. The Guardians sit at exactly $100 million.
See, now what I would need to see, because I didn't think it was going to be that. You would have to, I firmly believe that you take the lowest teams, you take a look at what their owners' net worths are, and then price it out through that. Because if their net worth is around what they're spending on their baseball team, then I think you need to have it a little bit lower. But if they're just choosing solely just not to spend this money, then they got to bump it up. They got to bump it up a lot more if they want to succeed.
Well, we're not talking about the problem in the MLB is that the small market teams don't have enough money. It's that they
just don't
aren't
want to.
spending enough
They don't
money.
want to.
I looked it up earlier. The Marlins owner, he's got a $1.9 billion net worth.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
And he's
so
only spending 67 of Well, I don't know if it's all his
Yeah.
money, but he's only spending 67 of that. He
Yeah.
can definitely bump it up a little bit. He's just not.
I think they need to do what like the NFL does, like how they have veteran minimums and everything like that. They
Yeah.
should be doing that.
Wasn't
like there
the
should
vet
be
minimum in the NFL like what is it? It's like
I think
a
it's like a
million
mil.
or 2 million.
Yeah,
something
it's like a
that.
mil. I think the
probably
vet
like a mil.
minimum should be 1 mil, and then I don't even know. See, I don't know because it's really tricky because like I don't know the
It's
money
like
side of it. So it's like
1.25 million.
it's like, do you set it at 500K or is that way too low? You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's
I mean-
absolutely too low, especially if you want to give a spending floor.
yeah,
A
I'd say
salary-
a solid
Well,
mil.
you still have to
I think a
pay
mil.
pitchers. You got to understand, dude. You
Yeah.
have to have enough arms in the bullpen.
Well, yeah,
If
but
you
I
don't
think-
have enough arms in the bullpen because you can't afford, every one of them has to make a certain amount of money. That's
Right.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, here's a crazy thing to think about. The difference between the Mets payroll and the Marlins payroll is the entire Blue Jays payroll.
Yeah,
Like it's roughly about 250 million between the Mets and the Marlins, and that's the
insane.
Blue Jays' entire payroll.
I do think you'll like Owen Casey off of that Cabrera trade. He's a good outfielder.
I think so too. It'll look good for them, but we've gotten a lot of players that have started out well and then kind of fell off. Joey Wendell, he was a good guy from the Rays. He was doing good first couple years and fell down. I hope that Owen Casey continues to perform, but
It sounds
I
like
don't know. The Marlins just has a way of doing something wrong for every player that comes in. So
sounds like we have to have a Pulse baseball watch party.
I think so.
I think
too.
it needs to
100%.
happen. I think yeah. 100%.
Tyler Rogers.
What if we all just go to a spring training game?
Yo,
At
That could be
JetBlue?
fun.
I'm so down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be at,
That would be
Nate,
so
I'm gonna be at a
fun.
lot of
So,
those.
who's
I'm
at
gonna be-
JetBlue? Sox?
I
Let's
think
do
the
it.
Red Sox.
Yeah.
I
The
think
Sox
the
are at
Tigers
JetBlue.
are.
And then you also got the Twins.
The Twins are
Yeah,
at
the Twins are.
It's a replica
are
of
around
Fenway.
here.
The Tigers are.
Yeah,
in,
it
like,
is.
Ocala.
It is. I went
Yeah.
for the first time with my dad. I want to say 2 years ago. Maybe it was last year. No, I think it was 2 years ago. And we walked in. I had never been there, and there was a mini green monster. And I was like,
Yeah.
no,
No, it's not a
way.
mini,
That's
it's the
it.
same
Yeah,
size.
the
It's the same
Twins-
size?
The Twins
Really?
are
Size, yeah,
Twins
that's-
are at Lee
Yeah, the
Health,
Twins
which is
are
like just
around
down the
here.
road.
Yeah.
And the Sox, yeah, their stadium's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
I got to
that's so
go
sick.
field some fly balls out there on the
Really?
field. Yeah, it was
But yeah,
fun.
Oh,
I've
that's
been over
awesome.
there at Hammond.
It was surreal.
Because
It was.
Really?
is it still
Yeah, it was
called
fun.
Hammond Stadium, the Twins anymore? Like
I don't
spring
know.
training? It used to be Hammond Stadium.
Lakeland. The Tigers. Are
I
in
loved
Lakeland.
it. I loved it when the Braves used to play at Disney. I used to go
Did
all the
they
time with my
really?
dad. Yeah, they used to play at ESPN.
Oh my
It was so much
gosh.
fun.
Yeah,
I
the
made
World
my
of
dad
Sports-
go
World
to
of
show.
Sports
Sports,
complex.
dude.
I always
Yeah.
forget
World of
Disney has
Sports,
that world
man,
of
yeah.
sports,
Yeah.
there, which is so cool. I had cheer competition once.
Anyway, this was our little short baseball segment. I hope you enjoyed. If anybody from Lee Health or maybe the Red Sox, even JetBlue or the Twins, if anybody's watching, hi. Invite us out to your game. We'll do a real
would
nice
love to
live
go.
show from outside your
Yes.
stadium.
Yes, thank you very much. I love baseball. Bobby Witt Jr., 2026 MVP. I love Bobby Witt Jr. King
Mets World Series 2026.
Tigers World
Yeah.
Series 2026.
Absolutely.
I can't wait for
Okay.
Tariq Skubal to be traded.
Islands World Series 2026.
Dude,
Never
believe-
happening. No.
Any closing remarks from you guys before I say it?
Um,
Not from you, Duffy. You talked enough.
shout out Emerson. Thank
Shout
you,
out
Emerson,
Emerson.
for coming on. There we go.
Before we sign off here, fellas, I do want to give a shout out to our editor, Emerson. He's working hard here. He's in the studio, and it was great having him on and chop some baseball.
And he makes us good. He makes
There's a lot more in store that's coming up.
blooper
All right.
reel
Let's cut it all.
in the
All right.
playoffs.
Well, everyone, today is a great day to have a pulse because this is where sports come alive. Thank you for joining us on week 17 of
The
The
Pulse.
pulse.